following material may contain sex, coarse language, and violence.
Of course! Of course!
Those of you who have functioning human bodies, you may feel queasy and disorientated, and every single one of you will have a sort of spinning head and difficulty seeing, but you are still capable. There's just penalties on things you do. And you will get dumped in a heap on the ground.
Like on top of each other, or
if you wish.
What did that just do?
I don't know. I didn't.
You have a vague impression of elegantly dressed women. And like,
Look around.
what's going on here? Ah, ne'er-do-wells. Time to arrest and throw you in prison. I'm going to get the cops.
Not actually.
What, all Irishmen are cops, huh? I see. Racist.
All
First
cops
Latino
are
thing.
I don't feel so good.
Looking perception check to look around. What's
Your
the vision
vision's so
clears?
blurry and your head is spinning.
Yeah, I get it.
We'll find something sturdy to like
18,
lean on
but-
until.
Hey, that's my ass.
Oh, sorry, looking for a wall.
I think.
Okay, for safety reasons, what I'm going to do, there's ground that I can feel underneath me, right? Mm-hmm. I'm going to bring up a donut of ground around all of us.
Cool, that doesn't work.
Oh, that doesn't work?
Your powers do not work.
Oh, okay, so I'm trying.
Your powers do not work. You cannot shed light. You cannot do your thing. Stuck as a dog.
Is her
For
hair,
a short while.
is her hair dark?
It's hard to tell, but it's not light.
I can't use my powers.
Shit, hang on.
Hold on.
I can't not be metal.
I can't, like...
I can't make
What's
it.
going on here? I'm getting the guns.
Johnny, can you be fast?
No.
Right, we need to leave.
But
Over there.
you quickly bail out of the situation. Stumbling and increasingly disorientated, you find your way into an alleyway where you collapse.
Unconscious collapse, or just...
Sure, actually, that's a good idea. That way I can advance things slightly. You wake up in a prison cell. The women are separated from the men.
Oh crap!
Let me
not
guess.
again.
Guns.
Oh, of course. Your hair's glowing again, though. And you can change if you want. Your vision and that are restored.
Wouldn't it be in the pen?
Who's telling the story? 5 points from Gryffindor.
Hey,
Well, he's in Gryffindor, isn't he?
Yes.
what you are?
No!
It seems to me the real Slytherin thing to do would have been to maintain the deception,
It's
so
just
that
happening.
the other house gets fucked.
Fucking Slytherins.
So they're in, alright.
Cop in his blue uniform rattles his truncheon across the house. Well. Look what we've got here. Some troublemakers at the pageant, huh?
And what?
Trying to get a handle on the women?
I am a woman.
Sure you are. I mean, you are, but you seem to profess a certain allegiance to the red. Anyway, you should keep your mouth shut. Now, one of you is fairly well dressed. So, sir, I suppose you'll be trying to tell me that this lot was mugging you and not working for you? No, they don't work for me. They work with me. Oh, so you're all part of it together, are you? Well. And I understand that you were also walking around with a bunch of concealed firearms. Interesting ones. Possibly German.
Nonsense. Made in America.
I'm looking for a calendar or something.
Jennifer's like,
I'm looking for the token calendar in the prison cell.
no. Does anyone want to confess to anything?
Well, we ain't done nothing, so
We ain't done nothing. We've got a strong military man, Mr. Dapper, one very proper young lady, another less proper young lady, and a nigger.
well,
Whoa, okay. Just dropping the N-bomb, huh?
We're also part of this group of criminals, Suzanne. Less said about you, Sideshow, the better. And you, young lady, you should go back to your family instead of hanging out with these ne'er-do-wells. You look like you got a bright future about you. Hey, at least I've got a future about me. Don't be sassy, your elders.
I know my rights. I'm not talking until I get my lawyer.
Your what?
My lawyer. My phone call.
You'll get what I say you get. I'm going to let you think about this for a wee bit, and then we'll see what the captain has to say.
Are there problems with his uniform?
No, it's very correct. Scrupulously clean. Many decades out of date.
So, who's familiar with...
But you're also not familiar with LA, so you don't know that. Aha, got him.
But haven't we also seen films and stuff set in LA?
Shut up. God, stop being
Their films are
reasonable.
made in LA. They're always set everywhere but LA.
they just say
Oh,
that.
we have seen Predator. But
And Anne's just like, right, so jailbreak?
Yeah.
Do you want me to knock him out?
I mean, if you want to.
Cops left.
When he comes back, or do you want to break out the wall now?
Or the... Well, Anne's still metal. Wait, is your hair's glowing again?
Does
that mean that I can-
over and try and stick finger in lock?
I'm going to try and manipulate...
DC 15.
I'm going to try and manipulate the ground again.
This is a concrete cell,
Yeah.
so, it's less effective than another one would be. Yes, you can do that.
I believe I'm fine with
17.
concrete. It's just
You open the
metal.
door.
Metals I have issues with. That sounds sort of
So we were leaving?
not allowed.
And
Nat 20 again!
It's a sus dice.
He gave them to me.
and then walk around to Anne's door. You don't have to...
No. I never get to break things! So, what were you even doing?
I'm just tunneling out, down and out and back out.
Okay, you encounter a lot of sewer pipes and drainage, but sure, you can do that. Alvin opened the door, though,
For his cell, but we were in separate
and he
cells.
just opened the door to their cell.
Oh, okay.
Wait, does
So
that
you-
mean we're... And I'll try and make a little...
Well, now we can get into your cell where you made a tunnel.
Like, I just imagine this thing, Roxanne comes up, out of the
Same
thing, and
DC for
Alan's
the
there
door.
with, opening the door with a smug
pick
look
them
on his
up.
face. It's just like,
Step
you
out.
just need to do that.
Lexian's like, we should probably get our things back. And I feel,
Great.
yeah.
Yeah, how dare the police steal from us? We need to steal it back.
Are you alright?
Yeah, just, Sure.
Okay, where would they
I have
put
to be
us?
at 100% or I'm letting the team down, you understand?
Do you want me to run point on the way out?
Sure, we need to find where our stuff is. They're not just going to have it in like a chest at the
Oh,
end
yeah,
of the
that-
hallway or something.
I understand that. Just down here. Yeah, that's right. A real queer bunch. Really think. No. Well, maybe one of the women. Looks like a circus performer. Clop down the stairs. Clump, clump, clump. Two cops come down.
Disappear under the ground and bring it up over.
Cop uniform.
Lexian pushes you back in your cell.
Yeah, I was just about to do that.
And then just like...
So
Stands beside Alvin like he knows what he's doing.
So at this point, I panic and I disappear.
That is a thing you can do. What's
Right
going
where I
on
am.
here?
And Derek's just looking like shocked, and we want to just wait.
White officer, right?
I like when he's in his police uniform, so he could be dog in a police uniform.
I can count the total number of black cops of this era on
No,
my hand.
so
Here's
so
how I
he
do
probably
it. None.
so he probably does go like hand up in front of the cat.
What's going on here? Well, Captain, that's what I could ask you. Me and my team get jumped in an alleyway, and you put us in a cell and have one of your goons assault us. You even took my government ID. You should know who I am. Good building yourselves. As long as Bonnie doesn't materialize right the fuck now.
Probably get to make a roll. That should be fine.
Ah, alright, strange bunch of equipment we took too. If you wouldn't mind getting back in your cell. Thanks, McCloskey, I can do my own talking. Listen, we found a lot of strange artifacts on you and your group. If you wouldn't mind moving back into the cell and... Who the fuck is that?
O'Reilly.
You're black though, right?
Not anymore.
Well, this is my precinct and I don't know any O'Reilly. Well, I know an O'Reilly, but you're not him. Or the other one. Or the other one. You're none of the O'Reillys.
He called me the Joe.
I don't remember.
And a right swanky one it is. I'm here looking at the prisoners.
Don't all get in the cells. Something's going on here and something's wrong.
Oh, sorry, it was me.
Fine. Go.
Bang, 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 kill, 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 kill.
Except the bullets just go through Alvin, don't they? And
And did they shoot Lexian?
well, moves like they do.
Yeah, he moves like they do.
So with that, I'll
Ah, sad. Yeah, you can just knock him out because that's the only way this ends.
yeah, before anyone dies.
Lexian's like, that was a hell of a reaction.
Smooth move, Bonnie.
What happened?
More stabbing.
No.
They saw, oh, yeah, you straight up disappeared. You were there 1 second and then, pop, gone.
Thank goodness you did. Roxanne? Roxanne?
She went into the ground last I saw.
Over?
Yes.
Bon Bon killed them.
No, the
I know,
oh,
I know.
oh.
What the
Anne
hell's
comes, out,
going
Anne
on?
comes out of her cell. Oh, that was humiliating. Degrading.
What the hell's going on here?
We've seen worse.
They tried to kill Alvin when he transformed.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a reaction. Californians are weird.
It's like they ain't seen a mutant before.
Maybe
Well, now I know for sure that they didn't find me as a dog.
how is it
They,
unusual that a police person would shoot at a mutant?
normally they scream mutant and kill. But
No,
they
they
just shot.
shot right out.
They just shot.
Like that's-
Alvin's gonna rifle their wallets.
Driver's license. Some cash. Picture of family. Membership card for the Republican Party.
There we get. Is it normal money or is it Tom money?
It's Tom money. Since you're checking specifically for that.
Well, I'm getting money, and it's just like, what's that?
A ticket stub for the 111 Club.
Did we move on to some kind of Hollywood movie set or something?
Oh, you should take his badge and his ID. Could be handy down the line with your abilities.
Right.
Let's put in the cell.
Yeah.
Lock it.
Clock, stairs. Alvin, can you be him?
Gotcha.
Try the screen.
Darkness. Still at the ground.
Oh, no, that failed. Oh.
Captain. It's a man in a suit. Well, we've moved all of those suspicious artifacts off to the military, so that's good news. We're going to send a truck for the prisoners.
I'll have them good.
It'll
ready
be
to
tomorrow morning, so you're going to have to feed them. The colonel wants to make absolute certain that they're not mishandled in any way, but they're not to escape.
Right.
The United States government appreciates your service in this matter, and we will not forget.
Thank you for your accommodations. And they will enjoy theirs.
Got him. The guy looks through the cells. Climbs the stairs and leaves.
Yeah, he thinks we're next. Open the door again.
I hate being
Bonnie.
in the dark.
Yeah.
It's a neat trick, whatever it is.
Is it just a response to not wanting to be seen? Are you hiding real good?
Like,
What I miss?
Bonnie is king of stealth.
I've got this. I can now disappear. We both disappear.
Seems odd to do that.
I'm leaning on her because
Bonnie, cute trick. We now can't see dark
Hang
side.
on, then I'll make a long
Wait,
step
can I
where you were.
Look at what happens if I look at my hand?
I believe you can still see yourself. Oh no, you
It's-
can't.
you
It's
can't.
blinding.
It's
No, you can't
blinding.
see it.
So when I poke along,
And it's
Where am I? What's going on?
if you break away, you come back.
Yeah, I'll probably jump away from you.
and I can.
because of
Yeah,
Sounds like this is all real cute. Discovery is great and all, but we need to get out
yeah.
of
Let's
here.
let's go.
I'm not
Sorry.
going to jail. That's a Derek thing.
hey, well, actually, you're right.
We did just break out of the jail. You're already in jail.
Apparently the U.S. government
I
has
am
our
just go Derek,
stuff.
can't I?
The army has our stuff. We gotta break into the army. We gotta go against the best branch of American government.
Fortunately, we have an insider that knows them inside and out. This will be
Hell,
a
you
piece
probably
of
got
cake.
contacts. You could just talk to someone. We'll be fine.
My mother, perhaps. If I'm really lucky,
Let's get out of here. And
General
get a payphone.
O'Neill, but mother's probably the best shot. I need to get to a payphone.
Jennifer's like, maybe she just casually drops huge big military names like it's nothing. Oh, geez, it would be nice if I could get hold of General O'Neill, maybe the president.
I could never get hold of the president.
Whoever he happens to be.
Isn't the president evil again?
For now.
For now.
Yeah.
Keep an eye open, students. Traumatize his body some more. Yeah, we have to execute plan escape from the police station.
Right, you walk up the stairs, you run out back, like from the loading, prisoner loading thing. You pick the locks, I'm assuming, with your successful roll of a DC 15.
As long as I get over 5, I can do that.
Yes. Did I say 15? I mean 30.
Then you go, also yes.
And you run out onto the street, and well, there's no smog in the sky, and all the cars look really old.
Oh, sweet.
No, I mean they look new, but they're really
Stone
old.
style.
there must be some kind of show on there. Hang
And
on.
people walking down the street and dressed real nice. You really stand out.
So this clothing is what I used to wear. Very similar.
It is close, very, very close.
Why does everyone look like they live in the vault?
Okay, we need to get into an
People
alleyway.
start sort of noticing. So
Oh, you
hear some-
ruffians!
This looks like they could be communists. Oh, they look like communists. Yeah, I was about to say that.
I think we should get out of
Jokes.
here.
You see, there's a police car there. It's your halt.
You know what? Let's be getting you to the army, you bunch of freaks.
Push us into the police car.
You steal a police car?
Yes!
All right. Here's a problem with this oldie-timey kind of car. You guys don't know how to drive it. I'm not joking. They don't work like modern cars at all.
Yep.
It was the choke for a while.
Rubber.
Hang on, I might have this. Would you say, with my previous junkyard experiences, I might have potentially a clue on how to operate the vehicle?
I will let you roll.
Just mechanics? Probably
Vehicle.
My number in that one off the top of my... Ha! 24?
It's not going to be clean.
Oh, it's already not going to be clean because the cop has to do the driving. I'll talk you through it as we go down the road.
Please,
Jerk,
Joe.
halt, jerk, jerk, halt, grind.
You just want to
jerk,
ease
bang,
on.
stall.
Curse these newfangled things.
Eventually, you seize it up.
Oh shit, that didn't sound good.
But you're now sufficiently far away from the police station.
Jerk and shove her over to the sidewalk at least.
Crash into one of those newspaper vending things.
Of course!
Guess what?
Newspapers.
I can see the black and white from
right.
here.
Oh, I see. That's the front of that one. There on.
Oh, no, so here's.
So you get that one.
Yes.
This is where, in character, you first identify where and when you are.
Now, hang on a minute. 1947. Have I gone insane,
Yes.
Johnny?
This is what I was fearing when we saw all those old cars. Great, we've broken one of the biggest rules.
You want to start reading there, Brendan? You can have the first time.
General Appleblack. Fuck me up real good.
You can have the first article, Dean. You might want to exclude Stephen from this. They're
Might be
they're all pretty cunty.
Look at the Los
There isn't
Angeles Bugle.
There's only one that I would say is short.
Oh shit, one of them's a page.
January 7th, 1947. War Department confirms bizarre powers. America most secure post-war. A team of gifted being trained to guard against the Red Menace. Left to right, they are Lee Flag Girl McDonnell, Reggie Black America Clay, and Allison Bomber Richard. The War Department has announced the rumors are true. As reported in this very paper, the Los Angeles Bugle, following the Second Great War, some are calling World War II, changes became apparent in some returning soldiers from the European theatre. Some soldiers reported increased strength or improved vision. One claims to be able to run a mile a minute faster than he could before. But until now, there has been no proof. But now the government, in the form of General Happy Hap Hapablap, has told us it is true. We can now speculate as to the nature of these gifts. General Hapablap announced at the Restricted Access Conference at the Fort MacArthur Army Base that special gifts, capital G intended, have appeared in Americans following the war. The leading theory is that the nuclear bombs that went off in the Euro Theatre, which soundly forced the Jerry to capitulate, somehow changed those exposed to the blast. General Hapablap also introduced America's first training school for the gifted. He also introduced what might be America's first gifted soldiers, a 3-man training group, surprisingly a Negro and 2 women. Each of them were possibly exposed to the blast in the Rhineland. Corporal Reggie Clay was a soldier during the war, but had rejoined civilian life to help his family's grocery business. He calls himself Black America now, and we witness his amazing feats as he ran track as fast as an Olympic sprinter and outboxed Joe Louis before our eyes.
Joe Louis. You've never heard of Joe Louis?
No, not really. He then shot targets and ran an obstacle course.
The boxer, not the dog. I actually have to point this out because Stephen Crowder's dog is called Joe Lewis.
Oh.
And it's also because the dog in prison.
An astonishing performance. The ladies may be more astonishing. Beginning with Lee McDonald, a former nurse in the war, the fiercely pro-American flag girl can now shoot like a man and can ignore injury. So she can ignore injury was her ability.
Yeah.
She was able to overhear conversations held by volunteers from the press corps at a distance of 100 yards, 4/5 of a football field away. Finally, and most bizarrely, Alison Richard, possibly exposed to nuclear powers whilst being a dancer at a USO show, now styled as Bomber. She is somehow stronger than a man, arm wrestling a huge soldier easily, and lifted many trapezoidal weights over her head. Most impressively, she is able to cause explosions with a punch. These gifts, as they're being referred to as, will be put to use defending America and her peoples from the looming threat of communism. General Happerblap said, "It is most likely these gifts are bestowed on all those there, but the white soldiery were already real hardy fighting men. So the gifts were able to have effect on these weak women and this nigger." When asked if the church had any position on these gifts, base chaplain Father Gregory Dubois disclosed, "The church has not yet reached an official position yet. However, if the so-called gifts are a sign of the Lord's intervention, then of course we and all the good people of America will come together to support it. And if it is something from significant pause and gesture downwards, the other fella, then I think it's reasonable to use his own toys against him and his red communist friends. It looks like America has some astounding new defenders." Aston Devon, ARS.
Astonishing new defenders! Adventures in American science!
Robbery in science! The Federated Hazardous Chemicals Warehouse on Wilmington in Carson has suffered a bizarre and heinous robbery in broad midnight. It was a container of unidentified materials brought back from Nazi Germany following the war, being stored in the supposedly secure lockup at FedHazChem.
Federal Hazardous Chemical.
According to the Los Angeles Police Department, the container was broken into and most of the contents stolen. We have no idea because none of the contents had yet been identified. The break-in mentioned the methodology of another robbery 2 nights ago, prompting fears that the communists may have a cell operating in the area. Alan Malloy, ARS.
Hollywood communists! Scandal in Hollywood are frequent bedfellows these days. Following the clear direction of the war gave them, Hollywood seems to have become unglued a bit. This time it is in the menace of communism which has threatened the career of one of Hollywood's darlings. Rising star of the silver screen, Howard Emery, recently co-star of Pirates of the Setting Sun, has come under suspicion of being a red communist following revelations by his co-star, Suzanne Dahlia. According to her account. Howard Emery was seen in late-night meetings on location exchanging an envelope with shadowy figures in the darkness beyond the trailers. He was acting really suspicious, and always so careful around me, like he's hiding something. She also found a membership card in the Communist Party of America in his wallet. As yet, the LAPD has not commented on the accusations. Geoff Pearson, ARS.
Local pageant disturbed. The annual Miss Angels pageant held in January, since anyone can remember during the war, has a long history of about 5 years of raising money to support the troops. At this time it was imperiled when during the event a strange commotion behind the stage nearly caused a break in the proceedings. Event organisers and contestants reported a swirling hole in the air which dropped several strangely dressed people on a heap in the middle of the area. They was dressed all strange and all fell out of that whirlpool in the air. Nobody knows where they ran off to, but LAPD officer Pat O'Mallaghanagagsi, who interviewed the flighty woman, reported the report was likely a lot of bourgeois. By Neil Pattinson. Date her steady or go to jail. Cary Grant, Myrna Loy, and Shirley Temple in The Bachelor and the Bobby Seaman? Soxon? Adore Scary production. Johnny Sands. There's some other bits in there I can't quite read.
Youth gangs invade jazz club. There are no limits to the inventive mind of crime, and it seems no constraints to the actions driven by those minds. Such thoughts were far from the minds of the regulars at the Blue Room when a gang of uncouth Negroes entered the club. The intrusion resulted in violence, of course, starting with the club security, Leroy Bouncer, who was injured by one of the gang members. Musician Nat Spencer was also injured in the altercation and may be unable to play. The gang members threatened and robbed the clientele and the register before leaving. Performer Terence Chilton said, "Man, I want to know what that crazy-looking guy was after in the black. He hasn't taken anything but this crazy gizmo we found in the dumpster after practice. He was crazy." The LAPD is investigating the youth gang and have several promising leads. Meanwhile, the Blue Room is lacking their new musician and may not be able to debut with their new sound. A new singer, Elsa Leichman, Doy Linderkopf, ABS.
War hero returns with wife. The man who not only did confirmed 18th century discovery of Atlantis, but brought them into the war on the side of right, Major Thomas Fury, has arrived back in America with a new wife in tow. The Air Force Major was greeted at the harbour as he disembarked from a naval scout vessel and met with staff there. In an official press release, Major Fury returned from the Atlantean city of Stratos in order to raise his family the American way. He and his wife, they can't be right. And Alria? Oh, there we go. Pronounced and Alria. Yeah, okay. Are a welcome new addition to this island, America. But not all are we so happy to see them arrive, as already a strange figure was chased out of the base by alert soldiers who claimed the strange man was aiming a rifle at Major Fury at the time they encountered him. Security has been increased whilst the Major and his family decide on where to settle. Patrick O'Nearly, ARS. Now the big news is the 1947 Indian, the new luxury motorcycle. See, the Roadmaster, the sportsman, the clubman. Oh, really, the Roadmaster. Is that bashing performance? For bashing performance. Comfort, instant control of all times, and engineered safety. These three new Indian beauties are the most recognizable, most thrilling motorcycles ever built by Indian. Don't miss trying these new Indians as soon as you can. You'll find they give a new meaning to motorcycling at your Indian dealer's store. Indian, world's finest motorcycle.
Hiya, cutting prices.
Motorcycle chop, hiya! Sky Commander delayed. The troubled production of Liberty Freedom, International Sky Commander, hit another snag with a fire in the properties department. The movie had already been delayed following the murder of its star, Chet Winston, at the hands of what many suspect to be an as-yet uncaught serial killer. The movie would follow the adventures of a daring fighter aircraft pilot as he tried to stop the communist menace headed by his evil brother, but has had no end of trouble getting off the ground. Now director Callum Mask is saying it might be cancelled altogether. I was already thinking the project lacked something new, something to set it apart, and the loss of our expensive props might be enough to halt this once and for all. By Paul Ackerman.
Performer outed as homosexual. It's difficult to believe that even after winning a war against the forces of evil, there can still be deviants seeking to destroy wholesome life. It is even more unbelievable that a famous performer of the stage and screen involved in many musicals, beloved to many, would be a key figure in such deviancy. Star of Prison Danger, Richard Johnson, was caught by intrepid reporters from this paper, incidentally, whilst those reporters were independently investigating a deviant homosexual club for an upcoming exposé. The Hollywood manly man, Rick Johnston, was caught engaging in a deep kiss, as one might with one's wife, with another man. Reactions to this are uniformly shock. How could the man who entertained and enthralled Americans for years, mincing across the stage as a sequined mimsy Puttenbomb, in All Those Men, or the manly man Gab Fitzsimmons in Seamen Everywhere, which drove up naval recruitment 15%, all by himself? How could this be true? Well, the answer sometimes comes from Richard's own mouth. He picked it up in college where he belonged to a subversive communist group run after hours by a professor. He felt different, he said, and the group which he claims to have quit when he realized what they were really stood for made him feel at home. Now the disgraced former star can feel at home in prison. The damning evidence. Richard Johnston and an unknown homosexual man. Lana Watson, ARS. Newest, finest, fastest, the Douglas DC-6. Flying fully, July 1 on National Airlines. God, I can't even read that font.
I've got the blown up version and I can't.
On
July 1st, the Great Douglas DC-6 enters
Scheduled
operation
operation
over National Airlines to serve. Look, it doesn't fucking matter, alright?
I'm guessing that's an actual advertisement.
All of these are. All of these are real.
Yep, they're all real.
No, they are, right? The advertisements are real.
I'm sorry, it's the next advertisement gets me.
Well,
With the horse face? Would you
At the
plow with
table.
horses in this modern age? I rode my house to the... No.
I took my horse to the hotel room, gonna ride till I can't no more. Plug my horses in the ass.
Moles season in doubt. The Los Angeles
It's
Tossers...
moles.
Huh? That's what I said.
You said moles, I thought.
No, moles!
Okay.
The Los Angeles Tossers are in trouble again, this time for shell tampering. The sport of moles is a dignified and skillful one, and few top teams can reliably be counted on for a solid win, except for last season's Los Angeles Tossers, who lost only 3 games all season to the New York Supers, the Chicago Clackers, and the Shama Conde Palefaces. The victory wreaths had barely been laid around their necks when accusations started flying. First from the disgraced Sacramento Shellers coach, Roy Colson, then from others claiming there must have been performance-enhancing drugs involved. However, the truth is much less sensational, but still damning. An early morning raid on the Tossers' lockers room uncovered several tins of wax and polish, which was enough to warrant testing of some of the championship match tortoises. The testing found residue of wax trapped in the shells of one of the tortoises, and so the whole result of the championship match has been overturned.
You right there, Brendan?
What is the sport?
Moles is a game of skill and dexterity involving tortoises. Look it up.
The chairman of the American Moles Association, Lug Hampton, said that there was not enough evidence to overturn the season, but enough to hold the championship match again. This time, he disclosed, we will have tortoise monitors watching each tortoise closely, and all of them will be tested each quarter. The decision, while expensive, is needed, he said. We have the good name of moles and the dignity of all teams, including the Tossers, to consider. Brock Chavin, ARS. Brock O'Chavin, ARS.
Hang on. Was it me? Would it be me or you?
I think I did the thing.
It's you.
No, it is me. Morphine hitting streets. Army surplus morphine has been discovered at the scene of the LAPD's most recent drug bust. A number of syrettes contained within a box labeled coffee. The morphine was registered as missing stock, presumed destroyed in the Nazi counteroffensive. If so, how's it here, and why is it real swell-like? Peachy keen. The LAPD had little to say, but that the matter was under investigation. By Hiram Sewell.
East Germany builds army. Disturbing news reaches us from the West Germany. It seems that the East Germany, isolated and economically crippled after their loss in World War II, which some refer to as the Second Great War, has finally stabilized under Reichsfuhrer Gerhard Klenel, and have found a creative way around the United Nations imposed limits on their military strength. Testing has been observed by intelligence officers which might lead to a third world war, some speculate. The post-war treaties imposed strict limits on total number of units and vehicles that East Germany may build to for 100 years. However, the Communazis have come up with an evil and clever solution to maintaining their defense, called the Fortgeschnitteres Taktisches Allgelande. The monstrous walking unit counts as one vehicle and is making many world leaders second guess leaving East Germany unconquered. Debate is already raging at the United Nations, but the international body seems unable to do anything against the Fortgeschriedenes Taktisch Ali Galandi. Seems to be equipped with...
Advanced Tactical Armored Transport.
Seems to be equipped with formidable weaponry. According to sources, the test involved walking across a live-fire battlefield and destroying a generator, whilst the East German army poured weapons fire into the monstrous machine. The armour seemed too strong for their cannons. As yet, the United States government has no response to this. East Germany tests a new troop carrier. Fuck you. To the dismay of leaders of the free world. Tibbet Drake, ARS.
Top 10 biggest mistakes. We continue our series on world history's greatest mistakes with number 7. The 19th Amendment to the Constitution of the United States of America, which guaranteed women the right to vote, with a full-page analysis and discussion on page 8. On page 8. On page 8. On page 8. On page 8.